Bull is capable of putting in place infrastructures that let its customers optimize efficiency while reducing energy bills. But it's also able to operate those infrastructures through its flexible and secure outsourcing services. So now we're going to focus on that booming part of the business with our two guests today. Please welcome to Bull World, Jacques Dekock and Jean-Pierre Letreut. Thanks for being with us today. Jacques Dekock, a few facts and figures about Habitat, the UK-based but European home furnishing retailer, founded in 1964 by a very famous man called Mr. Conran. You have 75 stores across Europe. You also have 13 franchise partners. And for those who would like to understand the commercial approach of Habitat, basically it's more expensive than IKEA and less expensive than Conran. Is that it?
Roughly right, yeah.
Roughly right. Okay, Jacques. Okay, tell us a bit more about Habitat.
It's quite an interesting business, I think, for a retail company. We tend to own quite a large chunk of the value chain from product development, design, manufacturing then, which is outsourced, but we control that. And then all the logistics, getting it into warehouses, and then finally out into retail through stores and then selling online. We've actually invested quite a lot in the last sort of 18 months to really catch up with the e-commerce as such, and we've had fantastic results in that.
Okay, so how does Bull fit into this picture?
Through our long-term partnership with Bull, we've been able to find really some good solutions. And if I sort of start with the first problem, it was really down to the fact that we allowed ourselves to get into a situation where much of our SAP architecture was getting quite aged, and if we had a serious hardware failure, we couldn't just replace it. It wouldn't match the operating software. That wouldn't match the SAP applications. We went to a number of consulting companies. We got advice on that, and everybody came back with the same answer, which was you need new SAP. Now, the last thing we needed was a major SAP re-implementation, spending 6 or 7 million euros, focusing the business on implementing big systems and not on fixing some of the other business problems. And really through working with...
So that's when Bull came into the picture?
Yeah, and really came up with quite a creative solution, which basically meant we were able to modernize the entire infrastructure without impacting the business. So we kept the SAP application the same. The second big problem we had was we changed our business model to a more decentralized way of working. Once again, working with Bull as a partner there, we basically came up with a solution which meant we could keep all our applications around logistics the same and really focused on getting better business information through a single SAP reporting system. And this was a very successful project, and Bull's running and hosting that application for us today.
Okay.
And then third one.
And then cost reduction.
Cost reduction, which was the other big one for us. Once again, I think we saw maybe more than any of the other problems that was solved, the benefit of a long-term relationship. We were able to sit down with our partners in Bull and really begin to identify where we could change the way we did IT and look at the entire landscape. And we came up with some pretty big savings, which was also very pleasing.
Cost reduction is still the key driver in terms of a choice to go down the outsourcing route?
I would say yes. Cost reduction is a main driver for outsourcing, but it can be explained as a consequence of primary needs, which are security and access to skill. Security means secure data centers, which are expensive. Security means a team working 20 hours a day to operate the application, to monitor the systems, the networks, and everybody in the room knew that a team working 20 hours a day has a high cost.
Yeah.
So a data center and a team working 20 hours a day can be shared between several customers through outsourcing.
Mutualization of the platform. Okay,
exactly.
Well, that's a lot of ever-changing needs. Security, speed of change, cost reduction, energy management. So what's Bull's value proposition?
The answer Bull is bringing is what we call flexible outsourcing. Is mainly based on two key points. The first one is industrialization, and the second one is a specific governance to ensure that the contract is still in line with the business needs. You
also have the investment that we've made in our own infrastructure as well, in our own data centers. Huh?
Yes, investment is huge. We invested in the last few years a lot of millions of euros to extend, renew, and build new data centers, mainly in the west of France, in Angers, in Barnsley, in the center of UK, and in Phoenix, Arizona.
One item that we haven't discussed is, of course, governance. But what do we actually mean by governance?
governance means all the processes and organization used to manage a contract, pilot the services, make decisions, and ensure that your contract and the services provided by Bull to customers is still in line with the business needs. That's required, of course, a flexible contract and agile procedures. That's a fair system.
Okay, secret of a lasting relationship, Jacques?
Yeah, I think for us, it's really down to what you could call the spirit of partnership, which basically is, building a relationship over a long period of time based on trust. The benefit to us as a business is in that kind of relationship, it enables us to be a lot more open about our business challenges, which in turn enables our partner Bull then to come up with creative solutions to that.
Jacques, if there's anybody hesitating in the room to go down the outsourcing route, what would you say to them?
I think there's two key things you need to keep in mind. The first thing is probably define up front very clearly what it is you want to achieve, your objectives, and what success is going to look like. And then maybe even more importantly, the second point is really when you define your decision criteria and you choose a partner, not to do it in too much of a mathematical way, because the nature of these relationships are such long-term. It's a key decision.
Thanks very much, Jean-Pierre and Jacques, for your input this afternoon.